Check it out, guys. I'm back with my video response to the, does it have a number? The album episode 1987. And what an episode. For a minute there, I was a little scared that we didn't have enough tracks, but thankfully everybody's come together and we have enough for an album, and we also have enough to have Pipes go through with his promise of singing a song for the bliss and the community. But what an album, guys. Sorry this video is a little bit late, but better late than never, I guess. So yeah, what a great album. You know, I was quite surprised that we did get enough tracks, and the level of musicianship now, we're probably thinking, what are you talking about? Well, if you go back in time and listen to some of the earlier albums and then listen to this last album that came out, I'll tell you what, people have really stepped up their game. It's come to the point where, you know, when you're going to submit a track, you are thinking about people like Benford or the new people like Bill Reed, Doug Darrell, anything that Yarn touches, the CSCs. You're thinking to yourself, you know what, I've got to compete with these people. Now, this is no competition, of course, but us being musicians, you know, we're always worried about how good we are. No matter how good we go with our progression, with our musicianship, we always want to strive for more. So we always get that in our head. I know every time I look at these albums, I think to myself, oh geez, you know, like everyone says, I don't want to go after Benford, I don't want to go after Steve. Well, you know, that's the level of musicianship and quality we have in our albums, and it's so awesome to see that we're taking things further and we are progressing as a community. So it's really, really cool. So let's talk about the album itself. Excellent tracks. What I'll do is I'll write up a little mini review on each track, you know, just a couple of lines to let you guys know what I thought of the tracks. You know, I really like them all. They're really cool. One that really sticks out in my mind is Bill Reed's efforts with what is it, Rick? I can't remember his last name now. But that is a really, really cool track. I like how heavy the guitars come in, the piano part or whatever it is, keys part in the beginning. And that singer you've got there, he's, wow. I know he's a professional vocalist, but it's just, you know, he is amazing. He's a really, really good singer. And, you know, I really enjoyed the track. And then, of course, you put a solo in there, so it's cool. That's my favourite track of the album. Sorry to everyone else, you know, if I'm offending anyone, but it was really cool. So, yeah, I mean, let's talk about, I'll just talk about briefly the tracks that I was on. So, the tracks that I was on, I was asked to collaborate with, well, I guess 3 different projects, you could call it. And the first project that I collaborated with was with Chris Waite. Now, that was a really interesting song by Whitesnake, which I had actually, I know I've heard the track before, I just wasn't very familiar with it. So, you know, I listened to it and I thought, yeah, you know, I really want to be on this track with Chris, and you know, he was putting in a lot of effort to do the track and go through. And if you listen to what Chris has put through previously and now, like, he's come a really long way. Like, Chris is a really, really good guitar player, and on Is This Love, wow, I mean, it's just come, I don't know, I'm kind of lost for words at how good Chris actually is and how far that he's come across. When I heard the track, the rough track, I thought it was pretty cool, and then it came to this sort of big production, and actually made me sound half decent. Sometimes my vocals are a little low in the mix, but I understand that when you're starting off, you know, mixing, you tend to have that a bit down and the guitar's up and that sort of thing, but you can still hear it. And I was quite pleased with the end results. I know I could have done a better job, but you know, I was running out of time, and not being familiar with the song and all that sort of things. Like I say, I'm doing excuses, but you know, we always want to strive to be better. So yeah, I mean, working with Chris was a great pleasure. You know, he'd just send me the tracks and I'd lay down the vocals, send it straight back to him, and that was it. It was really easy to do, really good guy to talk to, gets back to your emails and that sort of thing. So it was a really fun experience, and you know, I hope to do it again one day. It was really, really cool. And just to let everyone know, I didn't actually hear the final mix until the album was released. And you know, what a surprise. It was awesome. So thank you, Chris, for inviting me to participate in your collaboration. let's go to our next collaboration. So I guess the next one would be the collaboration with Jim, Doug, and Jan. So I was on the forums, on the interwebs, checking out things, browsing, I should say, instead of browsing or prowling, and I saw that Jim put up a call for vocals for a track, and it was another Whitesnake song. So Still of the Night. I honestly did not know this song at all, not at all. However, Jim was in peril and he needed the vocals done, so I thought, why not? I'm going to give this a shot. And David Coverdale, he's just he's not an easy person to mimic or to do covers of. He's quite an amazing vocalist, an amazing musician. So anyway, Jim sent the track through to me, and I was absolutely blown away. The musicianship, the skill level he's got in playing guitar and putting everything together, the drums, everything was just absolutely amazing. It's just hard to imagine for me to be that good at playing guitar and dialing in those tones. It sounds so full, so lifelike. It's just absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it, and I just had to be part of it. So at that point, I had promised another collaboration, so I was a little bit funny to know if I could be on this collaboration, but you can trade your own personal track for a collab, and that makes 3 tracks, so we're all within the rules. And during this time, though, during the time when I was thinking about, am I doing the right thing by the Bliss, Doug Darrell steps in and lays down the vocal track, which is great. The way Doug does things, he just goes at it hard and always lays down quality, and I really liked it. So I said, all right, I'll do some backings and we'll see how we go. So I tried to double Doug's voice and then do a little bit of backing here, a lot of screams and little gestures here and there. The song's just so exciting that it just lets you go loose and really have fun with it. So I recorded everything on a long weekend here, Easter long weekend, in this very room here. And laid down the tracks, sent it actually to Jim and Doug. Now Doug, he was on vacation, I believe, somewhere, had his laptop with him. Now he puts in some dedication. He started mixing, ran my vocals through his effects, and sent back this mix of the track, which was absolutely amazing. And then he decided to split up our vocals, so he wasn't taking all the lead, and moved me into with some of the lead parts, and mixed all the other gestures and fills that we put in vocally. And it just turned out to be such an awesome track. And again, at the end of it, I didn't actually hear the final track after Jan helped Jim mix in a few things and so forth. And yeah, so I didn't hear the final track, and I was absolutely, again, blown away by the result of that. I couldn't believe how good it sounded. I mean, I did everything as a bare minimum here. I just got one microphone, no effects. Like right now, I'm going through a rack mount vocal strip just to record this, just to record the audio for this video. But I didn't do anything like that. Just microphone straight into the preamp, hit record, and I just went for it. So yeah, it was really cool working with those guys. Really pleased with the result. And yeah, thanks again for the opportunity. Much enjoyed it. And the last track that I was on with Gavin Downey, yeah, like I was saying in my liner notes, this made this track really personal. I actually met Gavin in the flesh at the Cranberries / Lenny Kravitz tour, and it was really cool meeting him. One of the things that you always think when you meet somebody, you talk to them on these forums, that it doesn't matter how well you know them. Like Gavin and I guess, know each other for, I think it's up to maybe 2 years or something on the forums and things like that, emails. You always wonder if it's going to be awkward, but I think with the Bliss community, it never is, because you know these people, you talk to these people. When you meet, it's just like you're just friends, just meeting for a drink or whatever. It's just all natural, and it's really cool. Gav's a really cool guy, easy to get along with, and knows his stuff, knows what he wants. And I just had a great time. He originally asked me a long time ago, and I wasn't sure if he was going to go through with it because of his schedule with touring and that sort of thing. Although he wanted to cut it down, we're going to originally do the full production of the Husker Du song, but we went for an acoustic version. I actually really enjoyed the acoustic version. So Gav sent me I think he was in Singapore, somewhere in Asia at the time, and he sent basically a backing track with his vocals on there, and he told me which vocals to sing to do the backing vocals, so I laid those down. Same thing, simple dynamic microphone straight into the preamp. That was it, kept it raw, sent it back to him. Then he sent me a rough mix, and it was unbelievable. Gavin's got such a great voice. It's a lot better than mine, and strangely enough though, our vocals, I don't know if it's our style or our timbre, are quite similar, which I think is what makes the song kind of mesh together really well. So yeah, I was really happy about that. I was hoping Gavin would have enough time to complete the track, and I highly enjoyed it. It was really cool to work with Gavin again. I mean, he's the guy he's so busy. He's got a lot of things on, but he's always on the emails, you know, sending back and forth, answering your questions, getting the project done. And it was a real pleasure not only working with Gav, but meeting him as well. It's one of the highlights of my year, really, you know, meeting someone that you talk to all the time on the interwebs. So thank you very much. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. So now let's go to the last part of this video. I'll try not to make it too long. I just want to thank Alicia and Clint for hosting the episode. Like you guys always do, you put in such a lot of effort. It's so natural. It's just like, it comes across as if this is your podcast. You know, a podcast that you do all the time. The way you guys come across, the way you put things in, talk about it, so knowledgeable in the music scene. And I really, really enjoy the episodes that you guys host. It's something that I really look forward to. However, all good things must come to an end, and our Bliss Army General must move on. I totally understand where you're coming from. I know you have other passions that are number one to being the Bliss Army General and doing the little things you do around the Bliss. That's totally understandable. You've been on a lot of episodes. You put in so much work, and that was fantastic. I'd like to personally thank you for everything you've done there. I know you've helped me out a lot with playing a bunch of my tracks that I've done, just cover songs in the outro tracks, and I just can't thank you enough for all the support you've given me over the years, and you know, just being a good friend that I do appreciate. So thank you very much. I totally understand that you need to move on and dedicate your time to other things that are the more of a priority. I'm doing the same. You guys will notice, you know, sometimes I'm not on the forum as much because I've just got to do other things these days. We all grow on, we all move up, and we move ahead in life, and things change. So sometimes you just need to prioritize. So Alicia, thank you very much for everything you've done with this community, and thank you to Clint as well for the things that you've done with these episodes and that sort of thing. But Alicia, I wish you the very best in your endeavors, and I will be in touch. I will go on the book face and do that sort of thing. I'm kind of against Facebook. I don't like it, but I want to go on there to keep in touch with especially people that I've met with the Bliss community. I find it very hard for myself to go on Facebook, but I'm going to make more of a continuing effort to do so, and just even to add little comments here and there. It's always nice to, you know, just to get people's opinions and feel like you're chatting to people that you actually know, rather than some people on Facebook that are friend collectors. I get a lot of those requests, and just hit the ignore button. So guys, I guess this is it for my video response to this episode. So once again, thank you to Alicia and Clint for hosting the episode. Alicia, I wish you the very best with everything you're doing with your blog page on fashion design, and your digital art as well as everything else in life. I can only wish that you know, things go the way you want them to and go planned. I know you guys have been through a lot of hardships, especially with the floods and everything. So I wish you guys the very best, and thanks to everybody in the Bliss for you know, organizing this album. It was cool. It was really cool, and I enjoy listening to it. So I'm going to get down to writing my thoughts on each track. So guys, until next time, Bliss on.